topic diphtheria. This is the topic from the 4th year communicable disease diphtheria. Okay, the main causative agent for the diphtheria is Cyanobacterium diphtheria. This is the organism which causes this diphtheria. Okay, so diphtheria is a communicable disease which is spread from one person to other person, and the bacterium which causes it is Corynebacterium diphtheria. Okay, so basically in diphtheria what happens, first of all in Marathi it is known as Ghatsarpa. Okay, so other name in Marathi it is known as Ghatsarpa. Basically in diphtheria what happens, there is a formation of false membrane inside your throat. Okay, near your tonsils. It starts from your tonsils till your larynx. Okay, so false membrane is formed which is detachable, means which is non-detachable. So the membrane is formed on your throat area. If you try to pull it out, it can't be detached. Okay, and if you forcefully try to pull it out, there will be bleeding behind that area. Okay, so diphtheria is a false laryngeal membrane formed on inside your throat caused by the Corynebacterium diphtheria. Okay, so it's a false membrane which is grayish in color and which is not detachable. Okay, so it sticks to your throat as if it is a part of your throat. Okay. Now we will see in detail how to study the diphtheria. Diphtheria is an acute infection disease. It is acute. Acute means it has a short duration. Okay, so it's an acute disease caused by toxigenic stains of Cyanobacterium diphtheria. Three major clinical types have been described. There are three major clinical types. First is anterior nasal, phuceal and laryngeal. Okay, these are three types. Means anterior nasal, it covers your nasal area. Then phuceal, that means it covers your throat area, and laryngeal means it covers your throat area. Okay, so it is clinically divided into three areas. However, the skin, conjunctiva, vulva and other parts of the body may be affected. The bacilli multiply locally, usually in the throat, and elaborate a powerful exotoxin which is responsible for this following condition. Okay, so clinically it is divided into three types. First one is your anterior nasal, phuceal and laryngeal. This toxin, it multiply in your throat, means this bacteria, it enters through your nasopharyngeal route and it settles inside your throat, and in the throat it start multiplying and produce its exotoxins. Okay, then once the exotoxin, the bad material produced out of this bacteria is produced, then what happens? So following 1, 2, 3, 4 types of symptoms we can see. Okay, so first one is the formation of grayish or yellowish membrane, that is called as false membrane, commonly over the tonsil, pharynx and larynx or on the site of implantation, which well defined edges, and the membrane cannot be wiped out. Okay, the first symptom you will see that grayish membrane is formed inside your throat and which cannot be wiped out. Okay, which cannot be removed, which cannot be detached. Second one, marked congestion, edema or local tissue destruction will be there. So that part will have swelling or edema. Then enlargement of the regional lymph node, because of presence of this exotoxin in your throat. Regional lymph node, that will be cervical lymph node or near your throat, the lymph node will be swollen. Okay, and signs and symptoms of toxemia. Toxemia means there will be presence of bacteria in your blood. Okay, so toxemia will be present, that is fever you will have, then sore throat, cough, sneezing, all these symptoms will be present. Okay, fatal rate of the average is about 10%, which has changed little in the past 50 years in untreated cases and about 5% in treated cases. Okay, so basic thing about diphtheria you have to remember is, first, Cyanobacterium diphtheria is the organism which causes diphtheria. It settles inside your throat and produces exotoxin which forms the grayish non-detachable membrane inside your throat. Then because of that there will be regional lymph node swelling will be there. Then toxemia is present and other signs symptoms will be developed. Okay, so this is the basic thing which you should keep in your mind. The problem statement of the diphtheria. Problem statement means in the world where it is present, in India where it is present, and how it is spreading or what is the rate of its spreading. Okay, so first of all we will see in the world, diphtheria is a rare disease in most developed countries. Why it is rare nowadays? Because immunization program is very well present. Okay, so because of this immunization program, the rate of diphtheria causing is reduced. Okay, so in worldwide the rate is very rare, and these epidemics are rarely due to the decreased immunization, and in some area it is more. Why? Because the immunization is not proper there. Okay, so keep in mind that in worldwide, if we see the rate, because of immunization the rate has been reduced. Okay, but in some areas where immunization is not present, in that area the diphtheria cases are more. Okay, in India, diphtheria is an endemic disease. The available retrospective data indicate a decline trend of diphtheria in the country. In India also the rate has been decreased. Why? Because the program of immunization. Okay, in first 5 years we give the very well vaccine, DTP, BCG, all these vaccines are given, because of which the rate is increased. Okay, the report incidence of the disease in the country during 1987, before white covering of means before the immunization, in 1987 there was 12,952 cases were recorded, where during the year 2009 where there is only 3,480 cases and 113 deaths, shows a case fatality rate of about 3.25%. Okay, so in 1987 there was no immunization or proper immunization was given, and that time the rate was 12,000 cases. Okay, but in 2009 when immunization was given properly, the rate is 3,480 cases and 113 death of the children was present. Okay, so now because of proper immunization the rate has been reduced and there is a proper immunization present, so we don't have to worry about this diphtheria. Now we will see the epidemiological determinants. In epidemiological determinants we have to see agent, cause, how it is transmitted, incubation period, all these things we have to see in the detail. Okay, so first we will see the agent factor. In agent factor, first point is agent. The causative agent is C. diphtheria is a gram positive non-motile organism. It is a gram positive. If you do the testing, it will come gram positive, and it is a non-motile organism. Non-motile means it cannot move and it cannot penetrate the organism. Okay, so it will present inside, not inside, on your throat, and it will produce an exotoxin. Okay, so it is a non-motile organism. It has no invasive power but produce a powerful exotoxin. There are 4 types of this cyanobacterium diphtheria. First one is gravis, second one is mitis, third one is Belfanti and intermedius. All pathogenic to man, means all these 4 type of bacteria are pathogenic to man. All these 4 type of bacteria can produce signs and symptoms in the man, and they can infect the man. In general, gravis infections tend to be more severe than the mitis. From these 4, gravis is more severe as compared to the other. There is evidence that non-toxigenic stain may become toxigenic when exposed to particular bacteriophore and the beta phase carrying the genus. Means this is non-toxic. In its nature it is non-toxic, but when it comes in contact with certain environmental condition, it produces toxins. Okay, so from all these 4, gravis is more toxic as compared to mitis, belfanitis and intermedius. So the toxin can affect the heart, leading to myocarditis or the nerve ending to paralysis. Diphtheria bacilles are sensitive to penicillin and are readily killed by heat and chemical agent. It is killed by heat and chemical agent. It cannot survive in certain stage also of the heat. They may survive for short period in dust and fomite, but heat and chemical agent they cannot survive. Source of infection. The source of infection may be cases of carrier. The person who is having the diphtheria is a source of infection. He can spread the infection to the other person. Cases ranges from subclinical or frank clinical cases. Mild or silent infection may exhibit to more than a mare. Running noses or sore throat. This case plays a more important role than frank cases as spreading the infections. Means In cases also who do not have signs and symptoms, they are more secure as compared to the cases who have signs and symptoms. What signs and symptoms? The diphtheria patient who is having running nose, cough, sore throat, these patients are more infective as compared to the patient who do not have any signs and symptoms. Carriers are common source of infection. Their ratio is estimated to 95% carrier for 5 clinical cases. Carrier may be temporary or chronic, nasal or throat carrier. So carriers are also present which can produce the infection. Then immunization doses prevent the carrier state. If the carrier state is present and the person takes the immunization, that carrier cannot be further infect the other person. Infective material. What is the infective material in diphtheria? So nasopharyngeal secretion discharges from the skin lesion, contaminated fomites and possible infected dust. Okay, so secretions from the nasopharyngeal passage and fomites, or the person, if that droplet infection spread to other person, that may cause the infection. Period of infectivity. Unless treated, the period of infectivity may vary from 14 to 28 days. If it is treated in early stage, before 14 days it will be vanished. Okay, but if it is untreated, from 14 days to 28 days, that means still 1 month this infection can be present from onset of the disease. But carrier may remain infective for much longer period. A case or carrier may be considered non-communicable when at least 2 culture properly obtained from nose and throat 24 hours apart, the negative for diphtheria. Okay, if the person is carrier and if we take culture of that patient and after 24 hours, means after 1 day gap, if we take the culture and if that culture comes negative, that means he is a carrier because he do not have any signs and symptoms, plus culture is also coming the negative. But if that person gets certain environmental condition where that bacteria can multiply, then we can say that person is infected. Okay, unless and until do not. So infectivity 14 to 28 days, the infectivity period is there. If it is treated earlier, the infectivity period can be reduced. Okay. Factor. Now we have seen the agent factor, how it is caused, what is the infectivity period and all. Now host factor. Host factor means in which person it is formed. Okay, so first host factor is age. 1 to 5 years in countries where widespread immunization is practiced, a shift of age inclined to the preschooling to schooling age. Okay, so probably age period is 1 to 5 years of age, children are infected, but because of the immunization, now it is shifted from preschooling to schooling age. Okay, means more than 5 years also people can, children can have the infection, but approx age is 1 to 5 years. Okay, then say both sexes are present, male, boys and female, boys and girls, male and female, both are infected. Then immunity. Infant born of immune mothers are relatively immune during the first few weeks of months of life. A large proportion of population in developed countries have been acquired active immunity through the chick test is there, which can diagnose this diphtheria cases. So probably age is 1 to 5 years, sexes, both sexes are immune. And immunity, if child is born to the mother who is immune, first few years he is immune to that thing, but after that he need to take the immunization for it. Okay, then since diphtheria is principally the result of action of the toxin formed by the organism rather than invasion by the organism, resistance to the disease depend largely on the availability of specific neutralizing antitoxin in the bloodstream and tissue. It is generally true that diphtheria occurs only in a person who possesses no antitoxins or assembles or immunity of diphtheria toxin. For individual patients, may best make the review of document diphtheria toxins whose immunization is needed. As per this thing, they say that it is an exotoxin, means it is produced outside the organism, right? So in bloodstream, if you have antitoxin already taken, so from that it can antibody antigen reaction can take place and it can neutralize this toxin. Okay, so if person is immunized, he have probably less chances of having the diphtheria as compared to the person who is non-immunized. Okay, because if the toxin is produced, it's directly going to affect the person and it's going to enter inside your bloodstream. But if the person is immunized, immunity already will be present in your bloodstream and it can counterpart the toxins of this diphtheria. Okay. Environmental factor. Cases of diphtheria occurs in all seasons. There is no season that in this season there will be no cases. All seasons are susceptible. especially winter months favor its spread. In Kolkata, the highest incidence was reported in August, in Mumbai in the winter month, and in Delhi about August to October. So probably all the month it is present, but in winter we have more throat related complaints. Okay, so probably winter is the season where it have proper environment for its multiplication. So in winter the more cases are seen. Mode of transmission, the disease is spread mainly by droplet infection. As it is a communicable disease, droplet infection is the main cause for spread. It can also be transmitted directly to susceptible person from infected cutaneous lesion, transmission by object like thermometer, contamination by the nasopharyngeal secretion of the patient is possible but for a short period. Okay, so main source of transmission is droplet infection. Then if you come in the contact with that person, because of that droplets spreading in all the other object, if you come in contact with that object, there are chances that you may have diphtheria, but main transmission is through the droplet infection. Then port of entry, how this infection entered inside you. So respiratory route, first is respiratory way. Commonly the port of entry is the respiratory tract. Through your respiratory tract it can enter inside your body. Then non-respiratory route, the port of entry sometimes may be the skin where cuts, wounds and ulcers are probably present, and from that thing it can insert inside your skin. Okay, so port of entry is only two. First is your respiratory route, that is through nasopharyngeal droplet infection it can spread, and second thing is non-respiratory route, that is through your skin. If on your skin if you have any lesions, if that bacteria is present there if you get the skin lesion, from there it can be transmitted. Incubation period is of 2 to 6 days, or occasionally longer. Okay, so incubation period means if you get infection, to show the signs and symptom, before that what period is there, that is the incubation period. So before showing the signs and symptom, the period is of 2 to 6 days, and after that you can show the signs and symptoms. Okay, so this is the thing about your agent factor, host factor, environmental factor in all season. Mode of transmission is droplet infection, port of entry through nasopharyngeal, through skin, and incubation is 2 to 6 days. Now we will see the clinical features of diphtheria. In clinical features, respiratory tract forms of diphtheria consist of pharyngotonsillar, laryngotracheal, nasal combination. Therefore, patients with pharyngotonsillar diphtheria causes have a sore throat, difficulty in swallowing, and low-grade fever are present. Examination of the throat can produce the pseudomembrane erythema, tonsil swelling, and there will be edema present. Okay, so basically in clinical features, all your respiratory tract, that is upper respiratory tract, especially your larynx, are infected. So what features you will have? You will have cough, sore throat, there will be difficulty in deglutations, you wouldn't be able to deglute anything, and when you check the throat of that patient, there will be presence of grayish membrane near your tonsils, okay, which is not detachable and it's very painful. Okay, so grayish color is present. After that you will have bull neck appearance, means your lymph node near your throat will be swollen up, and because of that there will be a bull neck appearance will be seen. Laryngotracheal diphtheria most often is preceded by pharyngotonsillar disease, cause and associated with the fever, hoarseness, croupy, cough at presentation, and if the infection extends into the bronchial tree, it is more severe form of the disease. Okay, so if it goes into laryngotracheal area, there will be croupy cough. Do you know what is croupy cough? While inspiration or expiration, the sound will come as if you are whistling. Okay, why? Because this laryngotracheal opening will get narrow and there will be no proper respiration from there. Okay, so that croup, that is known as croup. Okay, so because of this diphtheria, that membrane will cover your laryngotracheal area and there will be difficulty breathing and you have this croupy cough. Okay, so that symptom is there. Then bull neck I told you. After that, your heart muscles, liver, kidney and adrenal, sometimes accompanied by gross hemorrhages are there. Cardiac rhythm indicate damage to the heart. Okay, it may also affect your heart, kidney and other genital areas also. Non-respiratory mucosal affect conjunctivitis and genital may also be the site of infection. Cutaneous diphtheria is common in tropic areas, often appear as a secondary infection of previous skin abrasion or infection. The presenting lesion, often as ulcer, may be surrounded by erythema and covered by the membranes. Patient generally seek treatment because of the chronicity of the skin lesion. Okay, so probably in secondary infection you can see diphtheria on your skin also. The person developed the ulcer near the cut or near the lesions he have on the skin, and that ulcer do not heal, and he need to go to the doctor, and then doctor comes to know that he have the diphtheria infection. So clinical features, you can basically write down the symptoms of your respiratory tract. That is, you have sore throat, difficulty in deglutition, then croupic cough will be there, then breathlessness is there, bull neck is there. Why? Because your lymph nodes will be swollen, and your heart, kidney will be affected, plus your genital area, and secondary infection on your skin is also present. Okay, but main thing in all these symptoms is grayish appearance of mucous membrane, okay, which is not detachable and it is present near your tonsils. Okay. After that, control of diphtheria, cases and carrier, early detection and active search for cases and carriers should start immediately among the family and school contact. Carrier may be detected only by culture methods. Swab should be taken from both the nose and throat and examined by culture method for diphtheria bacilli test. What test is there for this diphtheria? Chick test. SCHICK, chick test is there. Okay. Then early detection should be there. If the patient is having the diphtheria, you should see it is going to the school nearby people, you should see whether they are having or not. After that, isolation. Once you identify the patient, then you should isolate the patient. All cases, suspected cases and carriers should be prominently isolated, preferably in the hospital for at least 14 days. How many days they should be isolated? For the 14 days. Until proven free for infection, at least 2 consecutive nose and throat swab. Okay, means you have to isolate the patient for 14 days. After that, you have to take 2 tests, one today and other after 24 hours, and if it comes negative, then the person is negative for the diphtheria. Then treatment cases, when diphtheria is suspected, diphtheria antitoxin should be given without delay. As soon as you suspect the diphtheria case, you should give the immunization, that is diphtheria antitoxins. Okay, IM, that is intramuscular, or IV you can give in doses ranging from 20,000 to 10,000 units or more, depending upon the severity of the case. After a preliminary test done of 0.2 ml subcutaneously detects. So 0.2 ml subcutaneously it is given, and according to the severity the dose is set and the injection is given. But immunizations, they give 0.2 ml intramuscular. Okay. Then carrier, the carrier should be treated with 10 days course of oral erythromycin, which is most effective drug for the treatment of carrier. Okay, if the person is carrier, he should be given orally erythromycin, which usually clear up your upper respiratory tract infection. Plus erythromycin is good for your lower respiratory tract and UTI infection also. Okay, right. So erythromycin is given to the carrier, and the active cases you give the diphtheria antitoxin. Okay. Then contact where primary immunization or booster dose was received within previous 2 years, diphtheria toxin. Okay, so if you are immunized, but if you are coming in contact with the diphtheria patient, then you have to take the booster dose for the diphtheria. Okay, then how this diphtheria vaccine is stored? This diphtheria vaccine should not be frozen. Okay, it is not frozen. It should not be frozen and should not be taken frozen. They have given some temperature, refrigerator between 4 to 8 degrees. Okay, so it should be stored in 4 to 8 degrees Celsius temperature. Then vaccine should be used before the date of expiry. Then optimal age, that is 6 weeks before after the birth. Okay, optimal age is 6 weeks after the birth. You can take this vaccine. Number of doses, 3 doses of DPT, each of which is usually 0.5 ml, should be considered optimal for primary immunization. Okay, so 3 DPT vaccine is given primarily after the 6 weeks of birth, and 0.5 ml dose is given. Okay, mode of administration, all vaccine containing the mineral carries or adjective should be injected deep intramuscularly. Okay, so this is given deep intramuscularly. Reaction after the taking of this immunization, you may have mild fever and mild local reaction is seen on that area. Then contraindications, if you have mild cough, cold, that time you should not take. You have fever, in that time you should not take this vaccine. After treating you should take. Single vaccine are less frequently used. They are all good immunizing agent. Like simple diphtheria vaccine we don't give. Okay, we give DPT. These combined vaccinations we give. Single we don't use. So this is the thing about the diphtheria. Okay. So 4 to 8 degree in that temperature you should store it. Then after 6 weeks of birth you can take it. 0.5 ml is the dose. It is taken deep intramuscularly. Why? Because minerals are not taken cutaneously. Then you may have some reactions like fever and mild localized area. If you have any cough, cold, respiratory related conditions, first you treat that. After that you take this vaccination. So this is all about the diphtheria. In diphtheria you just have to keep in mind that it forms a grayish coloration of false membrane inside your throat, which is non-detachable, and you will have all the respiratory complaint. And the bacteria which cause this diphtheria is Corynebacteria diphtheria. Okay, so this is your diphtheria. In Marathi it is known as Bhatsar.